the last signing that we got was from my dog. I like this dude. I like him a lot. Ever since I saw the headband on the neck, a la prime time style. Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Ray-Ray McCloud has officially re-signed on another 1-year contract. And I like it, man. I like it.
This is a great signing.
Yes, indeed, man. You obviously saw what he was able to do from a special team standpoint. Really brought a lot of life back consistently to the special teams unit. Was a lot more consistent from a catching standpoint compared to Deontay. Obviously, Deontay was all pro, and we know what he could do once the ball was in his hands. But we also saw last year and the year before that how sometimes he struggles fielding punts.
First punt in the Giants game.
Absolutely. And then remember the second punt, he was like falling down to catch it. And we were like, oh, God, nah, not again. So it was good to see Ray-Ray come in and consistently do those things. And we obviously saw how, in his opportunities on offense, granted they were limited, he still was able to do some things there as well. But to me, knowing that Juju is more than likely going to be gone, I like the Ray-Ray move because I think that now he kind of falls in and becomes a better version of Darius Hayward-Bay, a better version of Johnny Holton, right? Johnny Holton and Darius Hayward-Bay were both special team aces, and they were vertical threat only guys, right? We know with Ray-Ray, he has the same kind of speed as those guys, but I love his acceleration and short area burst a lot more than those guys. Those guys were more straight line, whereas Ray-Ray can go laterally as well. And why is that important? Matt Canada. We know Matt Canada wants to be dynamic offensively. He likes to get wacky from a personnel grouping standpoint and how he utilizes the shifts and motions. Ray-Ray is a guy that can line up in the backfield. We saw him do that last year. Ray-Ray is a guy that can line up outside. You can use him in the screen game. You can use him for the reverses. You can use him as that gadget guy because of the speed that he plays with. And just his body size, like the way he's built, you have a lot more versatility with him. So knowing that Matt Canada is going to get the full offseason to formulate stuff and knowing that he has these other weapons, I think that, man, this becomes a nice additional luxury piece from an offensive standpoint as well.
I agree. It was great from a special team standpoint. He's brought some juice to the return game that we haven't seen in how long? I can't remember.
Since AB was
I guess AB, because I was going to say Randall L, but AB definitely did have his runs, but we've never viewed AB as like a return specialist, but he definitely was electric whenever he was in.
Yep.
But you could tell right off the bat, as soon as we went from Deontay Johnson to McCloud exclusively, dude, he was ripping off like his worst case scenario. It was like 15 yards, 10 yards. And that was worst case. And then he would have one where it was like 40, 50 yards, and we're just waiting for him to break one on a week-by-week basis.
Right. And seriously, it was like every week he was right on the cusp. Think about, we went through 3 or 4 games. We're like, bro, he almost had that one. Oh, you saw that one right there. Oh, that was 20 right there. Oh, if he cuts this way off the kicker instead of that way, that's a touchdown. Like, we saw all of that happening. For me, man, I love him coming back another year, more comfortable. The guys on special team understanding his style of play another year. Like I said, Matt Canada having a full offseason to kind of implement him a little bit more. Like I said, I think it's a really good move, though. Really good move.
So worst case scenario in terms of our receiving core, he would be wide receiver 4. Because that's the only 4 receivers on the roster right now then.
Yeah, that's correct. That he's wide receiver number 4, unless, Juju somehow, some way, I guess, changes his mind. I say that because beforehand we kept saying it was, he kept saying he was coming back. That's all he wanted to do. Pittsburgh. And then yesterday was kind of changed up a little bit, but we'll get to that in a second. But with Ray-Ray, man, man, I like it. As him as the 4th receiver, it could be a lot worse. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. That's fair. Now, because I did see, I don't know who it was through, a Twitter report that he was going to get more time potentially in the receiving game, or he was going to be more than just the return specialist coming back. And that points to everything that you said with some of the reverses or gadget plays you could do with him. And a couple of times they were working pretty good earlier in the season, but we did go away from that. And I don't remember seeing McCloud really. Actually, no, I think we did use McCloud middle of the season, later in the season in a traditional receiver role. But Claypool wouldn't be out there. I think I remember consistently, I'm like, where the hell is Claypool? Why is McCloud in?
Yeah.
So we were all like wonky and weird with how we were using our personnel.
Very true.
But it did work in that Eagles game on the reverse whenever he was doing that. So
yeah. And the thing is, like I said, he's built very similar to like a DeAnthony Thomas, right? We remember him, the guy that Oregon played in, I think, with the Ravens for a little while. Shorter guy, but very twitchy. Can, get 0 to 100, in a drop of a dime. Like, he's that type of guy from an acceleration standpoint. And I just think that, man, those type of guys with that type of speed, you find ways to use them because speed kills at this level. Big guys, you don't really fear them like that. The speed guys are the ones that are just like, whoa, that's a game changer right there. And we've seen what he's able to do, especially once he gets to the open field. So like I said, for me, man, I like it.
And I like just signing these three guys because how we were talking 2-3 weeks ago about the Steelers cap situation, we just didn't know who we'd be able to get. And these role players are important to get just to fill out your roster.
Yeah, I mean, trust me, no roster is filled with all pros and pro bowlers. You need these level guys, fringe starters, role players, starters, but not Pro Bowl starters, just starters. You need all of that, man. All of those guys, when you put them together, is collectively how you get a championship unit. These are the type of guys you need, though, as a whole. And I think all three of those signings make this team a better team.
Yeah, I think in terms of talent, upside for Marcus Allen, Ray-Ray McCloud, definitely a need in terms of return specialist. Who knows what he brings to the offense. And then JC, now depending on how you feel about his upside, either way, we needed center. And he was on the team last year. Got some starting.
And played.
So all three are pretty solid.
last year.
Yeah.